So that's that, and Royal Challengers Bangalore in a dominant display leave the hapless Lucknow Super Giants floundering with an all-round batting, fielding, and bowling display. I thought the bowling especially was quite brilliantly executed. Of course, LSG batsmen also threw it away. But Bharat, first thoughts on the match?
Yeah, it was a clinical performance once again. They were very clinical. The pitch was a little tacky, I guess, and they used that to their advantage. Rasikh Salam and Bhuvneshwar Kumar used those conditions to their advantage by mixing up the pace, by bowling obviously Yorkers in the end overs. It was a complete performance. Someone like Jose Hazelwood obviously adds a lot more to that side. He brings that bounce factor, extracted extra bounce, hit Rishabh Pant high up on the elbow. And then I think Nicholas Pooran got an inside edge onto the stumps once again, hit the bat hard on impact. That is what he brings. Obviously, he has added one more weapon. That is basically at the nth moment, he changes his grip or tweaks his grip in such a manner that the batsman is not able to understand whether it's a seam up ball or a variation. So there's a clinical performance from the bowlers, including Krunal Pandya. And then obviously with the bat in hand, Virat Kohli showed that he's still in good form, especially against fast bowling. He may not be against spinners, but I think he's still in really good form against fast bowling. That majestic punch of Mohammad Shami told everything that you would want to know. And quick fire innings cameo kind of knocks right down the order from Patidar and Jitesh Sharma hitting a few fours and sixes. I don't think they're putting a foot wrong as far as playing at their home ground is concerned. Yes, LSG, poor performance of the bat. They have to look at their batting unit. Their captain is not scoring runs. Even a couple of the top order batters, Markram and Mitchell Marsh, perhaps not scoring at the rate that they expect them to. And even if you look down the order, there's inconsistency out there. So you can't really blame LSG's bowlers. 146, those conditions were not meant for 146. They needed to at least get 190, 200. Yes, I understand. It was not a highway, obviously. It was a little bit tacky. The surface was a little bit tacky, but 146 was never going to be enough in those conditions.
Absolutely. More, we are saying that RCB basically a dominant display today. What went wrong with the LSG innings? Of course, Bharat just spoke about how well the RCB bowlers bowled, but what's gone wrong with the LSG batting today? What's your take?
Of course, credit to the RCB bowlers as well. They've done a fabulous job. But you know what the problem with the LSG batting unit is? Not just in today's game, something that I've been observing is that they are too reliant on one person or two people to step up and rescue them. It was Rishabh Pant in the match versus Hyderabad, and it was Mukul Chaudhary in the match versus KKR. We have not seen a collective effort from them. Even though the openers look in a good form when they start, they look like okay, they can, they are starting to settle down. They ultimately end up losing their wickets, and then one after the other, it triggers a batting collapse. So it's very important for all of them to sit down, have a conversation, and of course, I mean, it's very important for everyone to chip in. Nicholas Pooran, for example, his going out of form has hurt them a lot because the previous season, I remember he was one of their he was one of the main reasons why their batting, the batting order kept scoring runs. So him going out of form, inability to chip in, that is what is hurting them.
Fair enough. Bharat, talk us through Rishabh Pant and that injury, and then he went out, and then did they kind of make a mistake by getting him in too quickly? And of course, Phil Salt and that magnificent catch. Phil Salt has made it a regular habit. Just talk us through Rishabh Pant's woes.
Yeah, Rishabh Pant, obviously, a couple of them just were looking at what I'm doing here. Anyway, coming back to this match. Yeah, Rishabh Pant, obviously, I think is struggling for form. The bowlers, obviously, the pace bowlers are bowling from over the wicket and the wider lines. That's what they're doing against Rishabh Pant today as well. When he returned back to bat, first ball was wider of off, and he couldn't connect. Second ball again wider of off, he was dropped. So that is what teams are doing against Rishabh Pant. Yes, it was bad luck for him that he was hit on the elbow. He was in tears. I saw right when he was going back to the dressing room, I could see tears, a few tears rolling down his ears, rolling down his face. So yes, Rishabh Pant obviously would be, what can I say, very disappointed man with the way it is going for him, and it was quite a bad blow because it hit him flush on the elbow. I don't know why exactly he doesn't wear a kind of arm guard or whatever it is, because I think that would have helped him there, especially when you're facing someone like Joe Hazelwood who bowls that heavy ball. You would always wonder whether you're going to hit a part of your body. Maybe it could be stomach, it could be elbow, it could be chest. So you should be a bit careful, especially when you're facing a bowler who gets that kind of bounce. But really, nothing really going right for him in terms of his form. Now being hit on the elbow as well. Hopefully, he's still fine because he didn't come out to field in the second innings. And as far as that catch is concerned, see, Phil Salt, I think we have seen him do that even in county cricket. We have seen him do that for, I guess, Lancashire. We have seen him do that for England. I think he's a very good fielder, boundary rider, takes a very lot of good catches in the boundary line. But even more so for RCB, even more than what he does for England. I've seen him take a lot more blinders for RCB for whatever reason it is. But I think he's a very, very good fielder, athletic fielder. And yes, Bill Salt also obviously adds a lot with the bat in hand. When he gets going, he would get you 30 of 10 balls, basically value for money when it comes to the RCB side.
Totally. Value for money, more than that, perhaps. More an interesting aspect of the RCB batting, they went hell for leather, and at one point of time, they seemed like in a tearing hurry. But if you look at the table right now, their run rate, that net run rate has jumped from 1.148 before the beginning of this match to 1.503. And so, if it's a face off, finally, in terms of net run rate, RCB are leaps ahead. Intelligent cricket, would you say?
For sure. I mean, I think at one point in the game, they realized that they had won the match because obviously the way they were playing. So then they started focusing on the net run rate because obviously in today's, as far as the IPL table is concerned, in order to reach the playoffs, yes, points are important. It is important to win, but it's also important for your net run rate to go up. Because a lot of the other teams like PBKs, for example, Rajasthan Royals, they have also played, really good cricket as of now, and they also have a very high net run rate. So keeping that in mind, I think it was a fantastic innings from all of them. That is basically, Ashok sir, the difference between RCB batting and a LSG batting. You will see everyone chipping in little by little. Even Rajat Patidar's knock, if you look at it, maybe it's not a big score, but it is completely according to the situation. It is completely quick fire inning with a high strike rate, everybody coming in, Jitesh Sharma with those boundaries, everybody making sure that the net run rate goes high up. I think it's a very smart way of approaching the batting.
Yeah, I think that sense of intent was so obvious,
Yeah.
and you're absolutely right. Everyone just kept it going. Rajat Patidar was just spectacular. On the bowling front, Bharat, though, I still want to talk about Rasikh Salam, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, and Josh Hazelwood. I thought, and of course, can't forget Krunal Pandya. I mean, what did they get right exactly this time? What did you think? Bharat, that was for me.
I go back to that same point. It was a little bit of a tacky surface when RCB were bowling. I think it got better. The pitch got better. And what they did well was they used their variations really well. They bowled those into the pitch, lower ones, you can say. And Jose Hazelwood, as I noted, has developed a variation where at the last moment he's tweaking his grip. So the batter can't really say whether it's going to be a seam up ball or it's a cross seam or it could be a variation. So at the last moment, he's just tweaking his grip or changing his grip. That is deceiving quite a few batters. Obviously, Hazelwood will get bounce. This wicket had a little bit of that tennis ball bounce, and he would always extract some bounce. That's what he did. So I think they just stuck to their strengths. Rasikh Salam, I think maybe is learning a lot of things from Bhuvaneshwar Kumar because I can see a lot of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar in his bowling as well. The way he's mixing up his pace, the way he's getting that little bit of contrast swing in the slog overs. I don't know, maybe Bhuvaneshwar Kumar bowled more of reverse swing and Rasikh Salam bowled more of contrast swing. But whatever it is, in the slog overs, they were getting the bowled ball to move. So I think I see a lot of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar in his bowling. I'm not putting him in his class. Obviously, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar can genuinely swing the new ball as well. I think he's a lot more skillful bowler than Rasikh. But I think Rasikh is watching Bhuvneshwar Kumar a lot in practice sessions and also in a match and learning a lot from him. So yes, it was a clinical performance. They understood that the surface was a little bit tacky upfront, a little bit of what can you say, tennis ball bounce, and they use that to their advantage, including someone like Hazelwood. Krunal Pandey is someone I've already said is someone who throws the kitchen sink at the opposition. That's what he basically does. Whatever he has got, I think he throws it at the batsman, whether it is the bouncer, whether it is what can you say from with a round arm action, Kedar Jadhav type of round arm action, bowling at 115 kilometers per hour. It could be a little bit slower through the air at 92 kilometers per hour. It just throws everything that he has. It's just a quintessential modern day cricketer in the sense that if he had bowled like this in Test cricket or in first class cricket about 15 years ago, he might have ended with figures of 0 for 80 in 15 overs. But in T20 cricket on this kind of flat pitches, this was not a flat pitch, but in the world of T20 cricket, where a lot of things are going against the bowlers, I think he's just throwing the kitchen sink and succeeding.
Absolutely, a feisty cricketer, 100 wickets in the IPL, in fact, for Krunal Pandya. More, we can't do this show without talking about Virat Kohli and that innings that he played. And if I'm not wrong, he takes the orange cap. Apparently, he was under the weather for the last few days, but he says he's happy with the knock and the effort in the power play. Your take?
For sure. I mean, I remember this interview of his just after winning the IPL last season when he said it repeatedly that I don't like playing as an impact player. I want to be on the field, contribute to the decisions, and be on the field. But unfortunately for today, he was not well or some injury, so he had to sit out. And then when he walked in as the impact player, right from ball one, he looked confident. He didn't, looking at him batting, you won't say that he is under the weather. That is what Virat Kohli is. I mean, perfectly timing the ball, knowing when to hit, the shot selection, everything was superb. Taking on Mohammad Shami, someone like Mohammad Shami, brilliant cricketing mind for sure, finding the gaps really well. And suddenly, I mean, they showed the orange cap list on screen, and I saw Virat Kohli right on top. I'm like, where did he come from? Even yesterday, he was not there. So this is a pattern. Scoring at such an alarming rate, maintaining this consistency. I mean, that's what Virat Kohli is all about. Very happy for him.
Totally. Come the hour, come the man. You're right, Mohor. Okay, I'm going to ask one question to both of you, which is that why is it that Rajat Patidar and Shreyas Iyer don't find their way into the Indian T20 team? I mean, what they've demonstrated in the last 5 matches, I think they have made their case crystal clear. But before I do that, Bharat, here's a question from Fit Monk. So Pant repeated oval heroics again tonight. Massive respect for the man, but God, why always him?
Yeah, see, that is something. It is something that he has it in him. He really wants to compete. Rishabh Pant always wants to compete. He's someone who's a fighter. That I can understand. So I respect him from that perspective. But yes, in T20 cricket, Rishabh Pant has to look at his game. He still has to look at his game as to how the opposition teams are working him out. Because it's not good news for him if he's going to be just a one format player in the future. From that perspective, I think he has to really work hard on his game, especially against that wider line. But as far as his determination is concerned, he's someone we have seen it before as well. Not just in terms of that oval test. You can go back to the time when he suffered that accident. Yes, he was destined to come back, but still, the kind of fighting spirit that he showed, come back from that kind of a, what can I say, horrific accident, tells something about his mindset, because it's not just about what can I say, it is not just about recovering from your injuries. For example, Monica Seles in 1993, before the French Open, some mad guy just went and pierced that knife behind her back while she was resting off during a tennis match. And it took her something like 2 years to make a comeback. Despite recovering from that injury in 6 odd months, it took another 2 years for her to make a successful comeback to tennis. So it's not so easy, even from the mental side of things, because you start to think whether maybe I can play at that level again, whether I can play all those fast bowlers at that level again. So all those things come inside your mind. To erase all those things and then make a successful comeback. Hats off to him. That's obviously the one side. The other side is he still has to look at his game because something is really going wrong for him, especially in T20 cricket.
Totally. More coming back to the question I raised, I mean, do you think that these guys now deserve a shot at that India T20 squad? Haven't they made their case amply strong enough?
Ashok sir, India has an embarrassment of riches. I mean, you have a huge talent pool when it comes to T20 cricket, especially. The recent team that, I mean, just won the T20 World Cup. So you certainly, I mean, some people would not want to make changes to it. But on the other hand, if you look at these players out there who've been, consistently proving themselves, not just this year. I've been watching Shreyas Iyer and Rajat Patidar since probably 2023, 24. They, in the middle overs, they just take complete charge and they play spin really well. So I don't know if they will be considered sooner, but I genuinely think that they do deserve it because, we have been constantly talking about the fact that certain Indian players have a weakness against spin. But, these players who are there, if you introduce them in the middle order, then I think it will be an unstoppable team. It anyway is. I'm not taking anything away from the World Cup winning squad. But I think these people do deserve a shot. If you have a Shreyas Iyer, then a Rajat Patidar, then in comes a Shivam Dubey, then I think the middle order is just rock solid. That's just my take.
Bharat, to the point that Mohor made, when Rajat Patidar came in, everyone said he's such an elegant player of spin. But today, if you saw, I think it was the first over, Mohammad Shami, 2 sixes back to back. The way he hit them, he's like in a form of his lifetime. But Bharat, the question essentially is, have they made their case for India national T20 squad?
About Rajat Patidar, right?
Yeah, Rajat as well as Shreyas Iyer, both of them.
Yeah. See, Rajat Patidar is about, I think it's a little bit of a myth that he only plays spin well because, see, he really came into the limelight, at least in domestic cricket, when he smashed someone like Mohammad Shami somewhere in 2015. I don't remember. I was doing some text commentary for another company. At that time, he smashed Mohammad Shami in a Bengal versus Madhya Pradesh game, in a listed game. And then in a couple of seasons later, he did that something similar to Ashok Dinda and Mukesh Kumar again against Bengal pace attack. So I think he's a good player of pace bowling as well. It's not just about spin bowling. He himself noted in one of the interviews that he gave to me a few years ago that he likes to face fast bowling, and he basically showed that today as well. So yes, he's a very good player of spin. I've seen that in domestic cricket. He bashes spin like anything, but he's I think an equally good player of pace as well. And yes, he's turned out to be a fine captain too. So a lot of credit has to go to him in that sense because yes, he doesn't have a great deal of experience as a captain of Madhya Pradesh. He's done it for a season or two. In that sense, you have to give it to him the way he has led the side. Obviously, a lot of credit also has to go to the coaching staff for the way they have given him freedom to ensure that he's been given his own space to implement his ideas, his thoughts, and his plans.
Yep, fair enough. One more question from Fitmonk. He says a guy like Nicholas Pooran used to be the reason of our Coke and chips. Quite sad watching him struggling.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this in our pre-match live as well. He was the guy who used to make the bulk of the runs for LSG even the previous year. This time around, something is just not clicking for him. Tonight as well, you could say he walked out at number 3 itself because Rishabh Pant was not there for a long time. He had to retire hurt. He walked out, and even the 3-4 balls, I think the amount of time that he was on the crease, he did not look very confident. He looked quite shaky and scratchy at the crease. It could be a number of reasons. Could be underconfidence, the fact that he's not been able to add up on the runs. Also, maybe his international retirement could be a factor. Maybe he's not getting enough game time. That could be a reason. But whatever it is, I mean, Nicholas Pooran for sure used to be one of the topmost players in the IPL as well, even in the previous year. This time around, it's actually sad to see him this way.
I will just add a point to it. I think bowlers are also bowling better to him. That is a point to consider. The pace bowlers are definitely.
But he's a good player of spin, Bharat sir. Even that is not clicking really well.
Yeah, but they start with pace bowling. If you see Gujarat Titans, banged it shot, all of them, all their tall pacers, from Prasidh Krishna to Ashok Sharma, all those 6 feet 2 inch, 6 feet 3 inch pacers just banged it shot, and he got out to Prasidh. And today as well, they started with Hazelwood at Pooran because they know that if you bowl short of a length, back of a length, or short at his body, he's not the same player, especially if he's facing a tall fast bowler. And today there was one more tall fast bowler who just kept doing that, and finally I think he had enough, try to kind of play that short arm jab and got an inside edge onto the stumps. I think that's what is happening. This has always been the case. People or strategists would think that you have to bowl short of a length at Puran. But in this IPL, I think the bowlers or the pace bowlers have zoomed in on that weakness a lot more than what we have seen in the past, be it in international cricket or in other franchise leagues.
Fair enough. So that's it. Time to wrap up the show for tonight. And tomorrow, the IPL goes off to Wankhede, where Mumbai Indians, the big question mark on Rohit Sharma's fitness, Mumbai Indians takes on Shreyas Iyer and Punjab Kings. That's it, folks, for tonight. Thank you, Mohar and Bharat, for joining me on the show. Take care and good night.